Still gonna try it one day. I might have to try and find that video. Alrighty, hurry back. Something I want to eventually try, but have never tried and haven't really looked too close into it, is tatting. I think tatting would be cool to know how to do. My gran used to tat, and now the only one in my family that knows how is my one aunt. So I think it would be kind of cool to learn how to tat so I can potentially teach younger generations in our family to tat. But yeah, I don't know if I'll get there because I do have a lot of hobbies. I still have to get into doing null binding. I started learning that and I really enjoyed it, but I haven't done it for a while. Too many projects. Too many projects. Welcome back. I keep telling myself that I should go back to working on my drop spindle, but I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I must get through this color. I don't think I'll get through it tonight. Well, maybe, but I don't think so. But I will at least be into the purple. And then the next color will begin. Yeah, I should bring out the next ball for motivation. Must knit faster. Because then we get to do this ball. I mean, I've done drop spindle twice so far on my stream. Thank you. I really enjoy them. It was fun because this one here was supposed to just be purple, but because of the way I dyed it in the mason jar, and the way I put the roving in, because I did vinegar, food coloring, and then hot water from the kettle, and then I put the roving in dry, and I did them, most of them, like they go, I might have to do some changing up on the one end, but I just like folded the hunk of roving in half. So like, where's the end on this? So like this is folded in half, and then I just like stuck the roving in either end first or bottom first, or like fold first. And because certain food colorings like pinks strike ridiculously fast, and so the pink in the purple struck really quick, and then the blue was left, and that's how I got blue and purple in the ball. And then the same thing kind of happened with this. This was also supposed to, well, this was the food coloring was navy, and apparently there was purple in the navy. So when I put the roving in, the purple struck first, and then the blue came after. And I did, like, there's a jar of the roving that showed up in my slideshow. And yeah, so I just like stuck them in. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was just like, I'm gonna just dye some, like, I didn't have any plan for these. I just was like, I'm just gonna dye these colors, and then it just ended up being like rainbow colors, and I was like, well, that's perfect. I'll do something rainbow for June. And I was like, yeah, I love this. My cloth is slowly getting pulled off my table. I have a purple crushed velvet cloth that I put on my table because it's glass, but from me leaning on the table, it slowly starts to slide down. Nice. That's awesome. Not bad. You will get some bleeding. Like my first wash, usually I wash the yarn before I knit with it, because when I dye it, I just give it a good rinse. So after I've spun it up, I usually do a proper wash, and then I do what's called thwacking, where you beat the yarn on a chair or table, or I use a railing out on my deck, and it helps loosen up the fibers. But I forgot to do that with this stuff, so it bleeds. But this here, this red is, well, it was Kool-Aid, so basically food coloring. um, and it's hardly faded at all. Um, Actually, the one thing that did fade on this, and that was due to my negligence when dyeing and being lazy, is I actually used an acid dye on this, and it was supposed to be black. But I didn't heat it enough, and so the black pretty much all washed out, and I got gray. And then this part here was also black, but it was a different type of black acid dye. And again, I didn't heat it enough, and it turned dark brown. But I actually love the color that it turned, so I'm not complaining. But yeah, I've washed this sweater several times, and while this got considerably lighter because most of the dye washed out, and I actually spent forever washing the dye out, it's finally stopped bleeding. But yeah, the red, hardly any bleeding. And once this shawl is done, I will be putting it through the wringer, so to speak, on washing it, because obviously I forgot to wash the yarn beforehand. So it's going to get a really good wash, probably 2 or 3, before I can like officially say, okay, it's done bleeding out the colors, and then we'll see how the colors do. I know, I love that sweater. That is actually my very first top-down sweater that I ever knit. It was supposed to have a collar. That the collar has stretched out a lot more now, but it was supposed to have a collar put on after. And I was like, well, I don't like collars really. Like, I don't like tight neck tops, and I kind of liked the way it sat on me. Like, it was a nice, like, open neck. So I left it. It's stretched out some, but I still don't mind it. But also, it was a good thing I left it. Oh, shoot, ad. Welcome back. Looks like it's saying that ads still have a few more seconds, but okay. There we go. Yeah, those ads, they come up at the most inconvenient time. But yeah, so for the most part, you might get like a little bit of fading on it over time, but yeah, it seems to last pretty good. I'm obviously going to put this, like, this is the most food coloring I've had in a project where I've actually, like, completed it. So I want to put it through its paces and see how it does. So, like, see how much it fades, if it fades. And, like, what I'm probably going to do with this is I'm going to do a wash to get any of the excess pink out. Like the blue doesn't run. This one, it might a little bit on the purple, but other than that, it won't run. And same with like the yellow and the orange and the green. They won't run at all. Like they don't bleed on my hands or anything like that. So I think after I do the initial first wash, it'll be good, but I might give it a vinegar bath. So let it soak in vinegar to help set any extra color. We'll see. Still mad that I forgot to wash the yarn before I started knitting. Yeah. Was not the intention. The funny part is that I believed, like in the beginning, it had flown my mind so much that I had believed I'd already washed it. And I was like sitting there knitting on it and my hands were getting pink, and I'm like, look, and even after this is from my spinning drops now. But anyways, I was sitting there going, yeah, like even after I've washed this yarn and set the twist, I'm still getting a little bit of pink. And then I was like halfway through the pink, like right near the end of my stream, and I'm just like, I didn't wash the yarn. And I was like looking at all the yarn that I had caked up, and I'm like, I don't want to put that back into Hanks and then wash it. So, and I didn't want to take out what I had knitted, so I was just like, nope, we'll knit it first and then wash it. I'm too far invested to turn back now. Okay, I think I am going to, once again, I'm getting closer, practically, back into the purple. See, it's got like oh, it's hard to see here, but like purple line, and then it goes blue. Well, it's coming back into the purple again. And so once I'm officially back into the purple, I think that's when I will call it a night. Nice. Yes, I'm kind of at it like a bluey purple. Like you can sort of see the blue. Of course, it looks more blue on here than it actually is. But once it hits the official purple, where it starts to look more like, oh god, that looks like horrible on my camera. Here, that's better. Once I hit that kind of purple, then I'm going to be like, okay, time to call it a night. Because I have now been streaming for almost 7 hours, and it is 20 to 1 in the morning. So as much as I want to continue, I'm thinking I better not. I'll just have to finish it up tomorrow. And I should, if I do knit on this tomorrow, because tomorrow's my day off, I should be on to the new color for next stream, which I believe will be working on the zebra roving on my one spinning wheel, and I'll probably take a knitting break as well. One of those moments when it's like, I don't want to stop, but the sensible side of you is going, you need to stop. Yeah. Let's say one more row and I will be where I need to be. Oops. in the purple. I was going to go to a little bit darker of a purple, but I think that is where I'm going to call it for the night. This is what I have done on the shawls so far. It's coming. It's got a simple eyelet border on the one side. It's getting big. And I was so close, but just couldn't quite do it tonight. I'll have that knocked out tomorrow. No problem. Alright, let's see if there's anyone we can raid. Mousy Moo's on. So maybe we will give her stream a raid. What's Mousy Moo doing tonight? Alrighty. Thank you for coming and hanging out. We're gonna go raid Mousy Moo, and then I am going to go to bed, I think. It was really nice meeting you guys. Hope to see you around again. Alright. Thank you for the follow. It was nice meeting you, and I think I will sleep good. I'm definitely feeling it now. Oh, and my OBS is lagging, so that usually means it's gonna be happy to be shut down for the night.